Serie A. So look, man. What a game
Best
that we
league in
had.
the
No, no,
world,
no, no.
man.
Look,
Best.
the key thing here is
Second
let me
best
just
in the world.
open
Second
it up
best.
like this. I believe Juve are going to do 9 in a row. As much as I believe that Juve are going to do 9 in a row, if ever there was a chance for Juve to be dethroned, I think it could be this season for some reason. Now, I already
No.
said before this Juve Napoli game that Inter Milan are the best team to stop Juve from doing it. I said Napoli don't have what it takes. But I was very, very, very impressed with how Napoli came back. And we saw a lot of things, because there are a lot of things that I need to say here, because, and I think specifically with our dear friend who's obviously like down there, Mr. Koulibaly. So because Koulibaly scored an own goal, he's now crap. Oh, you see, those that jump to that are Twitter merchants who are just reactionary.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I still believe that Koulibaly is a fantastic footballer, absolutely fantastic footballer, top 3 African players, and I just think still one of the best defenders in the world. It happens, and it was just a very, very horrible situation for it to happen based on what they did. But I think many different things, and I'll let guys speak. The Chiellini injury is massive, absolutely massive, because I am not sure how the league is going to work, because we're now hearing that Boateng is close to joining Juventus, because apparently Boateng missed Bayern Munich training, and they're saying that they're going to try and do a deadline day deal to bring. So the fact that they're actually trying to bring Boateng in just shows you don't believe that a De Ligt Bonucci defensive partnership is going to see them through. So my thing about it is that I think it was amazing that Manolas, Lozano, and I think even the other dude, all new signings, so scored for Napoli.
Di Lorenzo, yeah.
And I just now, you know what? We could be in. I think this could prop up to be one of the most exciting Serie A. We could see a 3-horse race. We could generally see a 3-horse race. I'm still not putting money on anybody winning it over them. But if ever there's a chance, remember, Sarri is coming in. It's a whole new system. And this team still is not clicking to the system. Sarri is still not yet on the touch because of the whole new pneumonia thing. So if there's any kind of way for a team to go ahead of Juve this season, it is this season. And for me, I just believe that, because look, Lukaku is G'ing up now. Lukaku is already G'ing up. So he's already up and running. So we'll just have to see where it goes. So let's go to Abdullahi. So let me just I think I'm here. So Mr. Abdullahi, with regards to Juve and Napoli, so thoughts on the game, but more so, do you believe either Napoli or Inter Milan can dethrone Juventus this season, or do you still think that it's inevitable for Juventus to win the Serie A this season?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible to dethrone Juventus. It's possible. It's real possible. We can't just decide now because it's too.
Abdullahi, sorry to disrupt, but you know they've won 8 in a row.
I know they won 8 in a row.
In a row, consecutively. Year after year. Okay.
They won 8 in a row. But it's way too early. It's way too early to say we want to dethrone someone. We have to keep give them time and see how it's gonna be. By January, February, then we decide. Because now it's too early. But if you see someone that's gonna dethrone Juventus right now, I'm gonna rely on Inter Milan ahead of Napoli. Because we people are sleeping. We're sleeping too much on Antonio Conte. I'm serious. We're sleeping too much on him. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, did you watch them today, man? They
barely won, bro.
Who was bad?
Did they win the game? Did they win the game?
Points. They won it easily. Controlled the game easily.
Dude, they need a penalty to win the game, dude.
A win is a win.
Finish.
It happens. Anybody could struggle to win. Liverpool, Man City, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Anybody struggles to win. Nobody win beautiful. A win is a win. 3 points is 3 points. For me, the person I rely too much on to dethrone Juventus is gonna be Inter Milan. Whereas sleeping too much on Antonio Conte.
Okay.
Too much. And Lukaku is G'ing up, man.
He's showing
himself, man.
Okay.
And we're forgetting
he just scored a penalty
So
Anybody's
wait, chill.
Lionel Messi, they score
Wait,
penalties. So
guys, chill,
anybody,
man. Okay. Before I go to Ahmed, let me just hit the super chat. So, super chat's here from Martin Rosario, 499 super chat. Thank you very much, Mr. Martin Rosario, for donating to the Football Hut. He said, y'all really believed Juve was going to blow a 3-0, circumcision for you guys who don't know, lead in the presence of CR7. He ain't that midget in Camp Nou. Laugh my ass off.
Oh my god.
That's harsh.
Ahmed, you know what's funny?
Ahmed, easy, guys. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait.
Why do we have to bring the Ronaldo Messi debate to everything?
Don't take the bait. Ahmed, thoughts on Juve Napoli and the state of the Serie A? Ahmed.
Okay, well, firstly, I'm pretty sure 3 goals is a lubrication by the chart, but I'll keep going. I don't think Juve will get dethroned. I know it's a possibility. Like, I'm not saying it's a 100% lock-in that Juve win, but I'm saying that Serie A has become, in recent years, a Juventus league right now. Napoli challenged the one time.
Not this year. Not this year.
See, yeah, this year it's going to be different. This year, I recognize that Inter are going to chase Juve. They're going to chase, and they're going to chase well. But I'm putting if I had to bet, I'd put my money on Juve. I'm not going to bet on Inter Milan. I don't see Inter Milan, especially in it being Conte's first season.
Who pushes them closest, Napoli or Inter Milan?
Inter Milan, I would say, over Napoli, but Napoli won't be too far behind.
Okay. All right, Christ, thoughts on this? Who will push your team furthest?
Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. Talk, man.
On Milan, man, because they have the manager. They have a better team than Napoli. And also, I just don't trust Napoli.
Hello?
They're just bottlers, man. Like, I don't trust. So I think Inter Milan will push us, but I think we'll find a way.
So you're riding with Inter over Napoli because Napoli are bottlers.
Definitely, man, and they have a better manager. Like, in 20 can get the best out of his players.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
FG.
Yeah. I just want to. Firstly, that Juve Napoli game. Yeah, I was so impressed by Juve for the first 16 minutes. It was so good to see.
Whoa! What the hell happened in the second half? So you were impressed with that second half?
The first 16 minutes. I mean, that was before the downfall. Yeah, I was so impressed. It was finally good to see good football, at Juventus, unlike Allegri, that cancerous manager. And Napoli. I mean, look, man, Napoli are trash. The only reason they came back from the 3-0 thing is we just we just dropped our intensity and our concentration level. And De Ligt's, inexperience level showed up and conceded 2 goals. That's the only reason Napoli scored those 3. For this title race, look, man, this title race ending in December. There's no way we're losing. We're not
in December. What?
Yeah, it's ending in December. There's Inter will fall back. We'll have like a 6-point lead over Inter.
You're a Real Madrid fan.
No, I'm not. Don't associate me with that garbage club, man. We'll have like a 7-point lead over by the end of December.
Final lubrication.
You know what? You are garbage, bro. You're
lubrication in a final. Lubrication in a final.
Wait. Look, man, I'm not impressed by Conte's Inter. I watched him today, and Lukaku is doing what Lukaku did, like always, with Manchester United, playing like shit. This dude, honestly, they're actually playing with 10 men. Lukaku, because every time they do a 1-2 anything, Lukaku just messes. First goal he scored in the first Serie A game, that was a typical goal, like a rebound goal, like Lukaku does. And the second was a penalty. I don't see him scoring that many goals. I see him scoring 10 max, honestly.
FG missed.
We're sleeping on Lukaku too much.
I'm not sleeping on anything. And one more thing, Inter.
I'm wide awake.
Look, when the Champions League midweek games come back, Inter will fall back because Conte always struggles when there's more than one game in a week. So there's not going to be any title race this season.
Okay. All right, that's So before I go to Hazard, let me hit the super chat. So super chat's here from Young One, $5 super chat. Thank you very much for the donation, Young One, who says De Ligt will improve. It was his debut and his first full 90 minutes game in a while. Now, Young One, the thing is this: I think De Ligt is a fantastically talented defender, But I do believe that Barcelona was a much better fit for him because he's a very much a modern ball playing defender. And I think if you have two ball playing defenders, I'm not sure whether that works. I think you need one old school defender and a ball playing defender. So I think he'll improve, and I think that we shouldn't rush to criticize the league too quickly because look, this kid is a very talented defender who helped lead Ajax to a Champions League semi-final. But I just think that let's give him some games. But specifically, people are missing out. Sarri hasn't even been yet on the touchline. So let Sarri come to the touchline, work with the team, get his team playing like how they're playing. Then we can then see Juve in their full blow. So, Hazard, thoughts on this?
Yeah. So there's a lot of things to say here. First of all, I just want to say that I'm not an Inter fan, but I'm really happy that Lukaku scored that penalty because when he was taking it, it was just so many racist pricks just making monkey noises. So
hey, look, Hazard, that's never going to change. The Syria is racist, but
I'm just happy they scored it. And so yeah, basically that was a really good game. And first, I'm going to talk about the game. So Napoli just showed that their defense is a mess. Like, they got Manolas to partner Koulibaly, but there's no chemistry at all in the defense. So they conceded 7 goals in the first 2 games.
Damn.
So Jesus. It's just very, very, very. They have to fix that issue if they want to be considered title race. As for the comeback, look, man, very amazing comeback, and have to look at the Juventus defense as well. The Ligt still needs some time, and great comeback. Lozano is a baller. I'm gonna say this now. He's a really, really good player. Just the player they need. But I know this is a good game and everything. I'm sorry, but I can't put Napoli in the title race this year.
What about
because this year is going to be a two-way title race between Inter and Juventus. Juventus will still win it, but I think Inter will challenge. But I'm sorry, but I cannot put Napoli this title
Neither can
race.
Finally, common sense, man.
They didn't. They needed to sign a star player this winter. They were linked to James. They were linked to Icardi. They should have got either one of those, and then definitely you could put them in. It would be a 3-way title race. But they didn't get that star player. They don't have that guy who stands out in the front 3. They have Mertens, Insigne, Lozano, but Milik. They don't have that guy. They say, oh, okay, this is the difference maker. They don't have the difference maker. So I'm sorry, but I can't put them in a title race. And their defense, to add to it, they need to fix up defensively. Inter Milan, yes, they look good. They look good with Conte, and they got Sanchez. They have Lautaro. They have a good squad. And I think they're really going to challenge Inter. They're going to challenge Juventus, and Conte just brings that in. Well, he brings immediate success, but I don't think they can win it yet. As I said this last summer, Inter will win it next season. So Juventus will win 9, but not 10 in a row. And I know it shows the bad state of the Serie A, but it's a gradual process, unfortunately. And so Inter, they're looking good. Lukaku, doing well, still needs to prove himself because.
Wait, how many G's for Lukaku this season? How many G's for Lukaku?
15.
I'm gonna go with 20. I'm gonna go with
Jesus.
20.
Okay, all right.
No, he's gonna.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, Jujuman.
I don't think there's anything in Syria, and I know Inter have improved, but I don't trust them. And the one thing about Inter that I'm impressed.
Are you saying 10 in a row for Juve?
Yes, it'll be 10. Unfortunately, I don't like Juventus, but they will win it.
Wait. You're telling me that it's going to be a decade of Juve wins?
Because they have the squad depth. The other teams don't have the squad depth. I mean, Inter Milan, I'm not sure they have as much squad depth as Juve. So Juve can afford to. They can, like, when it's Champions League. I think FG mentioned when Champions League reaches. I mean, when it's Champions League time, then I mean, Juve will have the edge because of their players. They have too many players. But the one limitation I watched the first half. I couldn't watch the second half because Napoli. Same. Because Napoli is just disappointing in that first half. And so first half, Juventus, Higuain, they look better attacking wise with Higuain, and Douglas Costa looks like their main source. And I mean, the guys that creates a lot of chances. So if as long as Costa stays healthy, this team is good. It's still good. Uh, for Inter's best chance is maybe a cup like a Coppa Italia. That's their best chance of getting
Nah,
a
nah, we're
trophy.
winning the treble, man.
Oh no treble. With Champions League, this team is that
Oh no
defense
no
is
no!
not
Juve
good
are not
enough
winning any
for
treble, man.
Champions
No way,
League.
man.
Yeah, but that defense is not good enough for Champions League.
I'll keep this recorded, man.
But
Can I say
what's it
something
called?
about the league?
Yeah, no. I'll finish. The other thing is with Lukaku with a racist chance. I mean, not surprised. It's easy. I guess that's one of the but downsides of playing football in a third world country. But I'm not surprised about that. So
Wait. That's not
no,
fair.
No,
That's
no,
so,
that's
dude.
not
no,
It's
fair.
no,
only
no,
it's
no.
only it's only that fair. Not to mention England has more racist fans than Italy.
No, but Syria won't do anything. Just listen. There won't
Has
be
England
anything.
has
There
England
won't
done
be this
anything?
high
Has
Yeah,
tolerance.
that's the
has
problem.
I
Premier
am
That's
League?
the problem.
disgusted.
Syria
I
doesn't
am
do anything.
disgusted with some European countries the way they handle racism. It's like
Yeah,
just put it under the rug as if it's nothing instead of
that's the issue.
making a
That's the
big
issue.
deal. Yeah, exactly. Instead of making a big deal out of this, they're supposed to even. I'm not even. This is not overreaction, but they're supposed to ban fans from the stadium for like 5 games. If it affects the teams, too bad.
Yes, yes.
Like you
Yeah,
cannot have this. This cannot
FIGC,
go.
FIGC,
Yeah,
basically.
this
I
cannot keep going on. And so for Syria to end, Syria, Juventus should win. And as for top scorers, I think Lukaku and will outscore Ronaldo this season.
Hey,
He'll
easy,
outscore
Juju. Oh,
Ronaldo
Juju, Marco. No, no,
because
no, Juju, Juju, Juju.
no. Look, the
Wait, wait,
system is
Juju, man.
built
Are
for.
you putting okay, Juju? Are you putting
Yep.
you're putting your word there that
Yes.
Lukaku
Yeah.
is going to outscore Cristiano this season?
Yes. Because what's it called? But because I think with Juventus, Higuain looks like he'll team. Higuain looks like he'll score the most goals for
No,
Juventus.
Juju, man, come on, bro.
No,
Juju, man,
and what's it called?
the dude's a brick. Come on, man.
No, but he just blends in that team. Like Juve's attack has improved from last season. They look way better with Higuain, and with Inter Milan, it's the system fits Lukaku. Like the system because him and Lautaro, they have a chemistry, and every game, like it looks like every game, either one of them will be scoring a goal. So it's like the way Conte has made this team, Lukaku should be scoring. Like I'll be shocked if he doesn't. As someone say, I'll be shocked if he doesn't get 20 this season because the
yeah.
way
Okay.
the
All right,
system
all
is
right,
built
okay.
for him.
All right, let's just move on. Hardcore thoughts on this Serie A, and who can challenge Juve?
Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. Um, I think Syria rising to dominance will start happening when we start seeing a lot of these Italian teams going far in the Champions League knockout stage. I think that's when Syria's dominance will start happening. Um, again, I think it was a fluky win, like Montara said yesterday, very fluky. I think Koulibaly, it was really undeserved, and it was kind of like a heartbreak. And I thought Napoli played really well in the second half, to be honest. I thought Napoli really gave it their all. I thought they really, you know, like really pushed Juventus all the way to the edge. But
But can they sustain the consistency this season? I don't care about one game. Can they sustain a title challenge consistency for this flipping season? Yes or no? Under your boy Ancelotti.
oh, you talking about Napoli?
Yes.
Uh,
What?
mm, I
Why
don't think
not?
so, bro. To be honest, like I'm not even gonna lie, like they, I don't know why they didn't tie that James Rodriguez deal down by this
Yeah,
summer.
or
I mean,
Cardi.
they should have, they should have at least gotten one world class player out of this summer window, and I'm shocked that they
So you
didn't get
say so.
one.
So Insigne isn't world class to you.
Um, I, I mean, he's okay.
He's not. He's not.
Koulibaly.
He's not world class. Sorry, bro. He's not in the Cristiano level. Like, you know what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying is, I think personally, Napoli have a lot of impact players, and I think that's a good thing about Napoli is they have impact players. So, like, let's say like they're 4-0 down or they're 3-0 down, these guys can peg back and scores a couple of
Oh,
goals.
come on, not
That's
always. This
horrible.
was just a one-time thing, man.
Okay,
And
all right, all
and
right. Okay.
and I
So how could before I move on? So who wins the Serie A this season? Juve, Napoli, Inter Milan, or Pescara?
wait, sorry, what was the options?
Who wins the Serie A this
The
season?
options.
Juventus, Napoli, Inter Milan, or Pescara?
Pescara. What?
Hardcore, can you just answer the
He
damn
called it.
question? Who wins the Serie A this season?
um, I'm not gonna lie, but to be honest, I think Juve is gonna win it because of experience and the
Okay.
know-how.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, Rahimski. Serie A low down man.
Honestly, pretty good games over the weekend. I would say FG was kind of wrong about the Inter game because I lean more towards red on that side. I think Inter were pretty much controlling that entire game, and you can see just the tactical genius that is Conte because okay, Conte sometimes has problems adapting to his opponents, but I mean his philosophy is already implemented into this team. Like you can see remnants of Chelsea in this Inter team, which is pretty impressive because Inter have the personnel this year. Like it's not as far as it was before between Juventus and other teams. I'm sure even Hazem can attest to this. Like Juventus seem like kind of a tired dog at this point. Like they've been shot at multiple times, and eventually you're just going to crumble. I think with Juve, the problems with Juve, okay, defense aside, yes. So there's obviously defensive frailties without Chiellini.
So do you think that they should be worried about today licked in the long term?
Yeah, no. Whenever you're reliant on a teenager as a defender, you have problems.
Chelsea.
That's it. Chelsea, yes, okay, but I mean, in terms of generally in football, the narrative, you're gonna have problems when you have a teen as your main defender. So it's problematic. I mean, the only way that I can see Sarri succeeding with just Delict is if he can soak up pressure. And I think players that can generally soak up pressure, good examples would be Boateng is actually pretty good at that. So if they get him, yeah, sure, he's going to make some reckless decisions sometimes, like Boateng generally does. But a lot of the time, that'll give Delict the chance to react in those situations. So I think it's possible. The problem I have with Juve generally is their options going forward. Aside from Cristiano, I don't think they have very reliant forwards at all.
No. Costa's alright. Costa's
great.
I think Juventus.
Well. Let's backtrack because Costa doesn't really play like a forward anymore. He's a lot of the times he's in the midfield.
He's a supporter.
Yeah.
Winger.
So who's gonna win Serie A for me? That's a good question. I'm gonna, this might rattle some people. I'm gonna stick my neck out and say Napoli.
Right.
Yeah.
No, because
I know.
Ramsey, you have to upset that. This is a narrative that.
Wow, what a way to be so different.
The reason I'm saying this is because if you like, not only were Napoli impressive in their last game, but the new additions to their team. That's a very stacked team from top to bottom.
Yeah, but come on, Rahimski, is having Lozano really going to lead Napoli to a Serie A title? He's a good player, but
he doesn't have to lead them. That's a very good squad. They can help each other. That squad, I'm pretty sure they have a man, they have at least two men in every position. It's just a great squad.
No, Rimsky, but I just feel that Rimsky, there's a narrative that I think Napoli have to deal with where Maradona will be the only man who led them to their only 2 titles ever.
And I think that's fair. That's fair. But if you look at it objectively in footballing standards, whenever a squad has a very good starting 11, a very good bench, and a very good manager, you have to put them in title contention.
But then a very good point that hasn't made is that you can have the best squad in you want, but there's that butler's mentality that I think Napoli have, where when the critical moment arises, when that key game comes, they always fail. They always falter in those kick games. Maybe they will change it now, but I think they always falter. All right,
That's fair, but you need Juventus to take advantage of those situations, and I don't think they're willing to do that this season based on how hurt the team is. So.
Okay, all right, Red.
Can I add one thing on the leaked?
So who's gonna win the Serie A? Inter Milan's gonna win the Serie A easily,
Oh God. Oh
and it's
God.
gonna no. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
This
First of
Lukaku
all,
stand, man.
Lukaku. It's the partnership between Lukaku and Lautaro. That's the upgrade on Icardi. Lukaku alone would have been an upgrade on Icardi, but with him as a strike
No,
partnership,
Whoa.
really.
it's incredible. Because even today, if you look at the first goal for Lautaro, like if that had not went in, Lukaku was right there to capitalize on that and make sure it goes in. If you go back and look at that goal, aside from that, Conte, the 3-5-2 that he's playing, it's been a very effective. You see the wingbacks like Asamoah was man of the match today, hands down, and the guy
Very
was
good.
looking like
Yeah.
he was incredible today. Now,
Another Victor Moses is happening.
like I see the wingback in play, and
It
then if
was
you
a
look at
one.
Kandreva, if you look at Kandreva, no, I'm getting to. I'm going to give my entire thoughts here. But when it comes to Kandreva, like he was very effective in the first game. Now, granted, the teams that we played, like Agliari, like they were.
Lecce.
No, I'm talking about today's match. We've beaten them. Like our record against them was very good. So I think in the
We
I want to see against in the Milan derby. In the Milan derby, yeah, I'm
we
repping Inter, man. I'm
Oh,
repping
we're
Inter.
getting fucked in the derby.
Udinese in the Milan derby, which is going to be really two good tests because I'm not
we
sold on Inter just yet. But let's see, because like we've only been Lecce, which is they've recently been promoted, and Cagliari, like we've had better like a good record against them
So
previous to
okay,
this.
okay,
So I'm not judging up that.
Red, are you so you're backing Inter based purely on Lukaku or based purely on the squad or based purely on Conte?
No. The squad. Conte, they're effective. Like it's a deep team.
by
Like today,
Watch out
by
for
the
like
way,
Carlos Sensi.
since
bro,
when were
De
you
Vrij
Inter
wasn't
fan?
even De Vrij wasn't even on the pitch. De Vrij is an elite defender. He wasn't even on the pitch today. Like it's deep. We have Alexis Sanchez now coming in
Where's
on the
Godin?
Godin
Godin.
came
Bro,
on
you're not
late.
an
having
Inter fan.
Godin.
Like
Look, I'm not an Inter fan, but I'm repping them, man. It's cool. It's cool. I just want to follow Serie A, and it's
it's
much more
shameless you're
enjoyable when you
saying a
actually
we.
follow a team.
Oh my.
The thing is, you're just hurt because of Juve. Juve are not doing anything. That
Okay,
team is
okay, okay,
so
okay. So okay,
tired. That they,
so Red. So so in your view, you're saying Inter first, Juve second, Napoli third.
yeah.
Wow.
Napoli, maybe I don't. Yeah, Napoli third.
Who's fourth?
I'd say Napoli third.
Okay. All right. Vas.
Okay, so I actually have a ton of slams. Like all parties involved here. Look, so like first of all, dude, like these Juventus fans, dude, 50% of them who are plastic, including the two knuckleheads in here. They're all screaming.
I'm not
They're all.
okay.
Let
You
me
don't
finish. Let me
even know me.
finish, you child.
You don't even
Let me
know me.
finish, my child.
You don't
Let
even
me
know.
finish, bro. You'll have your say. Okay.
I have no idea what he's talking
Okay,
about.
and then
Oh yeah,
these
sure.
these plastics, dude. Okay, let me finish, dude. These plastics, okay. They're okay. Look, they're screaming that Inter Milan like need points reducted because of the racism, right? And the whole team should be punished like because of the racist fans. I mean,
They're
that's
scared.
fine, dude. But their reasoning for it is not because of the reasoning for it is because they're just scared that these guys are gonna like come and challenge them. But I have some good news for you, okay? Look, this is not a 2-horse title race. This is not a 3-horse title race. This is a 1-horse title race. Juventus winning easily. Dude, this is like gonna be like it might be a record breaking
Reverse
season.
psychology.
No,
Reverse
it's not
psychology.
reverse psychology, dude. This team looks
Good try,
really
good try.
good. I really like the shape of the team, dude. Alexandro looks like he's rolling back the years.
Danilo,
like it's
dude.
16-17 again. Cristiano, like he looks like he has a lot more to do in this team than he does at Madrid in terms of playing as an actual. He looks like he's pretty attractive to watch in multiple. Then you have like Douglas Costa, who I think is the best traditional winger.
Okay, so Vas, you're saying that Inter and Napoli don't have anything to test Juve.
No. They're not gonna. They have no chance of winning, dude. Juventus is gonna sweep it. In terms of who's the second best team, I'd say it's Napoli, dude. Because as good as like Conte is as a manager, dude, we need to stop treating Ancelotti and Sarri like these guys are good managers in their own right. And you look at the squads of Napoli and Juventus; they're far superior to Inter Milan's. Like I like Martinez. I like. Lukaku.
I don't think
I
Napoli
Lukaku
Anish, bro.
I
I don't
do
think
good. But
so,
after that strike partnership, dude, you need to give me more than a finished Alexis washed up. I mean, like, and I've watched a lot of Conte. He's probably like my second favorite manager after Klopp. but there are tactical setups and systems that are very detrimental to how he plays. Let me take you back to the Euro
Germany
game
team.
between
Yeah, yeah,
Germany and
Germany. Yeah,
Italy.
yeah.
Let me take you back to Chelsea's games against Man City. Those possession-based systems in which the opposition team presses high and moves the ball around quickly and well and accurately, those are
Hurt
very
Conte. Yeah,
harmful to the way that Conte plays.
yeah, yeah.
Germany completely outplayed Italy in that game despite being taken to penalties, and Man City utterly destroyed Chelsea, which is embarrassing. It was not a 1-0 game. That was at least a 3-0 game. So I think Juventus and Napoli, if it really comes down to it, will beat Inter Milan. I think Napoli might have trouble definitely in San Siro,
No,
but in
wait,
Naples, I'd say they'll beat
but
Inter. So
Vas,
yeah,
aren't you overlooking the point that Sarri is a new manager, new system coming in, and it may take time for these
okay,
But
but
we're
players
still winning though.
Wait,
to
I
wait,
Like
have,
we're
grind
what,
no,
still
into the
I
what,
winning
have
wait,
a
system.
stuff.
what
response to
time,
that.
dude?
I
We
have a
were
response
3-0
to
up
that, dude.
against Napoli, dude.
Dude, no, I have a response, dude. The counter argument to that, dude, is that okay? The same thing goes for Inter. You have Conte, who's bringing
No,
his
but
new
Conte is
system into
different.
this
Conte
thing.
is different.
And dude, and look at the gap. There's a clear gulf in
Quality.
class. No, there's a clear gulf in class between the personnel that Juventus have at their disposal and the
Oh
personnel
no,
that
no, no!
Inter
But
Milan have at
that
their
this
disposal.
is my counter argument. My counter
Yeah,
argument is
Conte.
that there is a greater difference between Allegri's system and Sarri's system than there is between who was the dude from Inter last season?
Spalletti.
Spalletti,
Yeah,
Stop
Spalletti.
break, man.
Spalletti and
Break, man.
Conte both follow a very old school Italian
Yeah.
pragmatic system. So the gap between Spalletti and Conte is not as vast as the gap between Sarri and
Good
between
point.
Sarri and your boy Allegri.
Allegri. Allegri.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
point.
but
Double
two
H.
games
That
in,
may be
two
Okay,
true,
games
I
but
have
ago.
a
still.
Okay, I have one last counter. I think, dude, over time, okay, I think this Juve team definitely needs time. Juve team definitely needs time to adapt to Sarri's system, but and the thing is that they're gonna get better over time. But what you have to see is that despite him bringing this completely fresh system to this set of players who are used to playing defensive football, they're still getting results.
Yeah,
Okay, they just
bro.
beat the second best, despite this being a completely new system. They I think they won their first game 1-0, so they're winning these games, and they're only gonna get better. They're not gonna get worse. So I mean, and the thing
Actually
is too.
getting worse. Like their team is like at the time as time goes through, it's just the worst. Even their first goal, it came from Danilo being centrally and Ronaldo on the right. Like if I was
What?
Ronaldo
That
in
was
that
Wait,
a
wait,
position,
brilliant
Danilo
dude,
that
counterattack.
dude,
they're
no,
so
no, man. We were
disorganized.
3-0 up, dude. We were 3-0 up. We just
You
lacked three.
ate three
Wait,
goals
wait, wait, wait,
after
wait, wait,
that, and had it not been for an own
We
goal,
we
you wouldn't have
dropped
even
our
been that
Round
good.
off
intensity.
your
We
points.
dropped our
Wait,
intensity.
guys, chill. Vas, round off your points because I need to get to Montaha.
Yeah, dude.
Vas,
So
round off your point.
I mean, dude, Juventus clearly are the best team in Italy, dude. It's this Inter Milan and Napoli bullshit is just wishful thinking. I mean, Juventus are gonna win this
Okay.
series over 10. So that's it.
All right, Muntaha, thoughts?
Oh, yo, bro. Like for me, of course, bro. The season, Juventus, and like
Yeah.
for me, like the way they played. Okay, in the first half, they were impressive. Like what actually they're trying to play. Yeah, like can't remember when was the last time these guys played like that. Okay, that attractive football, like move ball forward.
Never,
Like
bro.
yeah, yeah, play laterally as well. Yeah, wait, relax. Play laterally. Hold the ball in the dangerous areas of the pitch. No, like they didn't do that, and they look impressive. But that comes with kind of a bad stuff, and that has to do with the defense. Because you play with the Haaland, you never used to play that kind of football, and when you take that kind of risk, yeah. So it's like high risk, high reward system, bro. And I don't think so. Like for me, I think so. It might work for them in Serie A because there is no except few teams right now: Atalanta, then Inter Milan, and then Antonio Conte, then Ancelotti, Napoli. Yeah, like they can exploit this kind of thing. But I don't think so. The other team, who can come at them. So that's the problem. So I still believe Juventus is going to win this game, this league, this season.
But
On
who's
top
going to
of
come
that,
close, Napoli or Inter Milan?
yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, yeah, I'm coming at that. So for me, I think so. Inter is going to be like fight for them, and like they will chase what do you call it, Juventus in Serie A, and they will try to stop them. But you know what? If you want to stop Juventus, stop them. By making more gaps. Or by leading the league by the first point, yeah, and I mean by the league by the end of December. If you stop Juventus by like defeating them or like somehow win away games, so there might be a chance you have like you have a chance to win the league because what happens last season and like Juventus keep on winning these games by 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. That's like you don't want that kind of stuff to happen, bro. Because by doing that, like you're allowing Juventus to win the league. So I still believe that like Inter Milan is not fully ready to challenge Napoli. I mean to Juventus. Well, I think so they can do stuff, and Napoli will act as a spoiler. What I believe that, like they try to do with the Juventus thing, and like Juventus was so fortunate, bro. Like, come on, man. And they will try to do the same thing with Inter. Let's see how Inter is going to react.
Okay.
And for me, Napoli is like a Champions League format team. I think they'll do better than Inter Milan and UCL this season. Is what I believe.
All right.
Yeah, and the last thing I just want to mention on the late subject, yeah, like this guy, people rated him like so many guys. Yeah, they were coming with energy. Oh, this guy's the best center back in the world. All this crap. Where is now? Where is the lead? Delete this clown.
Come on,
You know what?
give the dude time, man.
No,
Give
bro.
the dude
No,
time. It's only a few games. Everybody wants to rip him down. Give him time. Give him time.
Hey, please. Allow me to respond. Yeah. Okay. When you will hit that potential, then talk. Okay, that's the problem. But people keep on hyping this dude, yeah, as of like, oh, he's at the level of Van Dijk, Ramos. He's not even better than Koulibaly. Please, let's be honest, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, bro, this guy's like prospect. Still, this guy's a prospect, and
he's
not better than Romagnoli.
Free form. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Of course,
he
he's
needs
not
to.
better than Romagnoli.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys.
That's
Moving
it, bro.
on. We have to move
Romagnoli is
on.
easily better than De Ligt.
No,
Okay, we have
he's
to move on.
not.